is Jennifer Vatsa from Belladonna's Botanicals, and today I want to talk a little bit about our product that we carry called Spirit Stones. And I had come up for the idea for this a few years ago when I first started working with Radionics. So this is one of the like a Radionics wish box. I just wanted to grab it to show you the type that I use. There's numerous ones on the markets, and they vary in price from under $100 to thousands of dollars, depending on who you make them. They're similar to like orgone generators and things like that. We'll get a little bit into that. I just wanted to show you this before because I actually have to go. I have to do some rebatches of charging. So you kind of have the stick plate and the copper panel. I also have this attached to my altar, and I have another copper plate that's underneath it. The output this also plugs in to the wall for electricity. I also have an alligator clip because sometimes if I make things in larger batches, I need to put them so they don't roll everywhere. I need to put them on a plate or a bowl, and I can just attach the clip to that. So that was just what I wanted to kind of show you a little bit on the technology side. I do have a couple other types of boxes. So the methodology of how I started doing this, and you tune in using the stick plate, you tune into the frequency of the sigil of the spirits. And what I basically have, trying to go through everything, but anyways, so like what I will do is, the main sigil has sort of like a little petition attached to it that, of, calling in the spirit, and that, for the stone to be charged with that spirit's energetics, essence, and what in general they're work for, like so well, I'm just holding this one here, like Suntalak would be for like money and wealth magic, prestige magic and stuff like that. So I have I think for all of them I have sort of the different well, this is sort of the card version I had from things, but I also have some hand-drawn sigils, and I also have, like, I just put these those as sticker sigils. I also have some hand-drawn ones because I have been doing ones lately. I do offer custom ones because it's just hard sometimes to have so many things in stock, especially if they don't, sell, that well. I mean, I have my standard ones that, like Lilith and Lucifer, I sell a lot of. So, I have all my sigils that I work with. This is just sort of the sort of designer sigil card, which is very similar to the stickers. So I use these sort of as anyone would use a sigil, kind of as a focal point, to kind of connect with that spirit, but in tandem with the Radionics box is to further kind of attune that spirit's energy to the selected crystal. So what I've done with the ones that I create, I brought over a little crystal grid I had to reconstruct it because apparently my cat keeps walking across it. So I'm just sort of, not all the crystals on here are spirit stones, but I'm just trying to, okay. So these are brecciated jasper hearts, and these are the ones that I use for Santa Muerte. Or I have the smoky quartz is one that I use for working with Lucifer. So usually I either look and see what stones or minerals are associated with that spirit. That information is not always available. In my experience with some of these, like smoky quartz is what I've always worked with Lucifer, so that's why I use smoky quartz for Lucifer. So what each of these stones, the process is that I charge them with the sigil with everything set up. It's attached to my altar space at various points in time. Usually I charge them for at least a full 24 hours, if not way longer. Like sometimes I charge them for like up to a week because sometimes I forget I'm charging them, and yay, ADHD. But what I found with this, I have a little bit written down just because I can never remember how to explain radionics. So the spirit stones that I created are sigil charged crystals and stones that are using a radionics box to imbue them with the energy and energetics of that spirit. It's hard to say like this spirit contains 80% Lucifer or 20% Lucifer. I don't know. I don't know that there's any way to really quantify how much, but it's still creating that sort of meta link, using the crystal with the sigil. So the stones and crystals act like a booster signal, amplifying energetic frequency of the user, their tools, and the environment. They can be used in spells and rituals to enhance energetic flow and connection to the entity. Each stone or crystal has been charged using the sigil of the entity, added to the energetics and intentions of each stone on the radionics box. Radionics boxes are used to tune and amplify the frequency of intentions. And this box I use for this is the Wish box. And they can be used in a variety of magical practices and rituals. They use combinations on the inside of this, which I can't open because it's glued. They use a combination of crystals, orgone, copper plates, stick plates, and in some cases they can also use electronic currents. So this one does. I have one that doesn't. So another one that doesn't. So the radionics boxes allow you to tune your thoughts and intentions to achieve a change in physical reality. Radionics machines can run up to 24 hours a day, weeks, or months to keep the energy in motion in order to manifest the intention or desired results. So you can use this in different ways. I'm just talking specifically how I use it for the spirit stones. So what I've found, sometimes I like to kind of talk to, friends and customers, like about how they use these things, because sometimes they use the things in ways I just hadn't thought of. Like it didn't dawn on me that my spell fires could also be used for fire scrying until I had friends that were like using it for that. I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. Hadn't thought of that. Need to put that in the product description. So like some people will carry these with them as a means of connection and protection with that spirit. Like I know I have one of the Lucifer stones that I just have in my purse, like it all, so when I leave the house, I have that energy with and protection with me. They can help people. Not everyone has the ability to see, hear, or sense spirits, so this can help as an aid in meditation, or to help them carry that energy with them even if they can't necessarily feel it themselves. So I use them sometimes in rituals. Depends on the ritual I'm doing. These can be used as offerings to your spirits. Now, the thing with crystals, and I do get this question, like, well, how long does the energy in them last? Basically, unless you intentionally cleanse this crystal to like, reprogram it, like, if you want to, there's various ways of cleansing crystals. I mean, if you're with the intention of leaving it on a selenite plate to cleanse it, or put it burying it in salt or the backyard, or doing something else to program it with a different intention or attachment to it. You really shouldn't have to worry about it losing its charge. And if you do feel that it's or if you want to, I mean, you could always charge them in the moonlight, on the full moon, like a lot of people do that with their crystals. I unfortunately have way too many crystals to do that. And I don't live in a great neighborhood, so I would not want to put thousands of dollars of crystals on my porch to charge them under the full moon. So you again can, take it if this like here's the Belial citrine. So I could just take a sigil of Belial of Belial, and this is the citrine, and use it at home without the radionics box to if you want to if you feel like it needs to be recharged or something, or you want to add your own extra energy to it, you can always use any kind of sigil. for that spirit. And yeah, it's so really, unless you intentionally cleanse it in a way that removes the radionics programming, there shouldn't be an issue with it just, kind of becoming inert or losing its charge. So you do want to be careful with it. I don't think, like, if you use this in a ritual bath, I don't think the water itself is going to, also want to make sure it's a water safe crystal, but I don't think the water itself is going to necessarily cleanse out the energy flow from it. I mean, if you're doing a salt bath, that's for purification things, you might run the risk. It's hard to say. But again, if you feel like it's lost charge or whatever, you can just charge it again with a crystal, or with the sigil. With a sigil, you can put a drop of your blood on it, to just further, rebuild or reestablish that connection if you feel like it's gotten lost at all. So I think that's all that I necessarily wanted to say. This was just a little grid I had built some point last year, and it's kind of like, why is everything in the wrong place? Because the altar I have it on, my cat Moon likes to walk across, and she don't give a fuck about knocking crystals out of the way. So anyways, I'm gonna have to why I made this one now that I'm thinking of it. I'm like, there was a very specific purpose of why, looking at what I have on it. Anyways, that's a story for another day. Jim got distracted by shiny rocks. Who would have thunk? But if you have any questions or about spirit stones, we do also offer custom ones. So, and I've been doing ones for people's spirit guides. I've been able to channel sigils for them. So it doesn't necessarily need to be, I mean, as long as I could find or channel a sigil for it. I've been able to do this, do a lot of custom crystals for people, for the spirits that they work with, because there's a lot of, when you're making things for different spirits and whatnot, there's a lot of different pantheons of entities on this planet and beyond, and it is hard, it would be very hard to have full product lines for them all. And some are very obscure that not that many people work with. So I'm looking forward to offering more custom options over the course of the year for different products. So anyways, I'll leave with that. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and if you're interested in becoming a member of the channel or our Patreon, all that information is below. Love y'all.